Monday when Joe Biden made the historical move of saying he wasn't going to run again in the middle of a freaking campaign with weeks to go to the DNC. But, folks, this is not the end of the story. There's way more than this. Hey, welcome back to the Rant Network. I'm David Solomon, flying solo once again. And boy, is Stuart missing another great week. Poor guy. I'm hoping he's enjoying his vacation. Do you hear the Rant Network? If this is your first time, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. We bring you here unedited, unfiltered, and frankly, uncensored conversations, wide range of topics. We talk about politics, society, pop culture, you name it. We do not hold back. This isn't a podcast where everybody gets to express their opinions. It's just a platform to share opinions. Again, not the news. We are not news media. We are opinionated, but we do our homework to check up to make sure that we got it clear and we have facts, folks. So we just share thoughts, experiences, ideas, and the perspectives and the honest opinions. That's what we do. So here we go. Today, welcome to the Joe Biden ride. Because, folks, I got to tell you, for the last few days, yes, I'm running. No, I'm not running. Yes, he's running. No, he's not running. Yes, he's going to stand strong and run. No, he's not going to stand strong and run. Last week during the rant, I did talk a lot about it. It's like, why? Like, what the heck? Well, guess what? Jolton Joe decided it was time to go. The writing was on the wall. As of Sunday, some 30 Democrats were screaming for him to go. And these were the ones who spoke out loud, let alone that were the ones who were talking to him quietly and privately. Little by little, Joe Biden lost his support, financial, as well as moral and electoral, and you name it. Joe Biden was going to lose this election. There is no doubt about it. And the Democrats were trying to say, Joe, you need to go if we have a chance to win. Now, last week I said, should the Democrats focus on winning the House and the Senate or the presidency? And I'm still questioning that. And I'll get to that in a minute. But the question is, should Joe have run for 2024? And the simple answer was no. He did the right thing. It just took him too damn long. And this thing that frustrates me is that this wasn't something that just happened today. It's been over a year that people have noticed that Joe Biden's cognitive abilities were starting to falter. And when the Democrats had a chance 1 year ago to make the move, and you had candidates who said, we want to go up against Joe Biden, the DNC said, no, we're not going to go through that process. We're not going to have debates. We're not going after an incumbent. No, Joe is our man. Joe stays there. And it was the most undemocratic way of handling it because they didn't let the people really get to hear it. Now, the RNC was no better, by the way. The Republicans were no better when they didn't force Trump to debate. And I said that all along. The rules were bent. In this case, the Democrats bent the rules for the wrong reasons. I know it's not cool to go up against an incumbent, but in this case, folks, it didn't. It was a big deal. Physical ability by the President of the United States to continue his job. And think about it. The Democrats would have had a year plus to bring in a candidate who can rally the party, who can rally the people. Now, nobody a year ago saw necessarily October 7th happen. We got that. And we didn't realize that over months, what Ukraine would do to Joe Biden, what Israel and Hamas would do to Joe Biden, what the economy, immigration, the stress must have gotten to him, and he lost focus. And I don't believe, and many don't believe, that Joe Biden ran the White House anymore, including Kamala Harris. But lo and behold, they wanted Puppet Joe to be there, hoping, praying that he'll beat Donald Trump. The debate proved there was no chance. Democrats got caught. We talked about this. And now Joe had to make the tough decision that for the first time since the 1960s, a candidate says he's not going to run again. But there's a very big difference between 1968 and 2024. In 1968, it was Vietnam. It was hell. And we got it. It was time to go. It was time to move on. Okay? It was really hard to run the country at that point. There was no doubt about that, that it was time to make the change. But here is a little bit different. Because when Lyndon B. Johnson opted out in 1968, he didn't want to be president in 64. He was thrusted into that role. And then the Democrats made him run one more time. And then he said, after that, we're done. I'm done. And gave the party a chance to find the next candidate. Joe Biden didn't do that. Joe and Jill Biden selfishly decided to hold on to the reins of power as long as they could, and now have tied the hands of the Democratic Party. We're July 22nd, a few weeks away from the Democratic National Convention. November 5th is the election. Do the Democrats think that anybody they put in there, they're going to win? So here comes the strategy question. Back to that strategy question. So now that Joe has walked away, there are a few questions we have to ask ourselves. And let's just talk first about the election. And the election is, who do you put in place? Kamala Harris got the endorsement. Here, let me check it out again. She got the endorsement from the Clintons. There was a rumor last week Hillary wanted to run. That was funny. But Bill Clinton and Hillary both said yes. Others have thrown their hat behind Kamala Harris. But interesting to see who didn't throw their hat behind Kamala Harris, which includes Speaker Nancy Pelosi, former Speaker, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, and everybody's lovely darling who behind the scenes probably was Brutus, Barack Obama. Barack Obama was the one who put the stab in the back. Now, there are rumors that Michelle Obama would run. There are rumors that, Governor Gavin Newsom might run, or Gretchen Whitmer, or what, who knows? Rumors. This is fresh. The Democrats are caught with their pants down. And while Kamala Harris has succeeded to, gain a little bit of momentum and some donors, and while the left media is going to go ballistic and say she's the great thing, whatever, unfortunately, Kamala Harris, as the candidate, frightens the crap out of me. Is she really presidential? Is she really going to be a president here? We've heard her politics. We've seen her, in California. We've seen how she threatened Joe Biden. We've seen how she's been. To me, Kamala Harris is going to be the sacrificial lamb. I think that whoever the candidate's going to be in November 2024 is going to lose, and is going to lose badly. The Trump train is gone. It's flying. It's going to be very challenging to beat it. Could you imagine Trump and Harris in a debate? Harris could say whatever she wants. She's done nothing. Her on cuff, if she has to speak, I don't think she's any better than Joe Biden. She's repeated the same phrases over and over again. She is a phrase machine that her people have given her. She has what creative thought does she have? Can she think on her feet? And you would think someone of her background should be able to, but she's terrible in her speech. Kamala Harris scares me as the next candidate. Her politics, and I don't believe in her politics. I don't like her politics. I didn't care for Joe Biden, but at least he did certain things that I agreed with. I don't see where Kamala is going to do it. I think Kamala is just going to go and run to the left, cozy up to AOC and the squad more than Joe Biden did. Joe Biden did it for currying votes. Kamala Harris believes in this garbage. And Kamala Harris is going to want to go down that road and lead the United States into an even bigger problem. Kamala Harris at the table with Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping? I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Love or hate Trump, it doesn't matter. Trump could be the bully, and you might hate the bully, but the bully is needed at the table with Putin and Xi. But do you think that Kamala Harris is that? She's not a bully. She's not a pit bull. She's not going to get, no one's going to give her the respect. And while there are those who are screaming in, yay, Kamala, yay, we're going to have a first African-American female president. Not a chance. I don't believe it for the love or money. So who's going to replace? If it's Kamala's going to have to go in the next couple of weeks and figure out how to find money and all the changes and everything the Democrats have got to do to get ready for the convention, so that when we get to the convention, we rally around one candidate. I don't see it. I don't see it. Because whatever high-profile candidate they're going to bring in, and the Democrats are going to try to bring in some high-profile candidates because they need to beat Trump. They realize that Trump is a machine. They're not going to get it. They're not going to get it this time around. Not with 3 months to go, 4 months to go. And the momentum isn't going to be there. There isn't a candidate right now that Democrats can rally around. And Kamala, even Kamala within the Democratic Party is like, oh God, not her. But in the world of anybody but Trump, you will have people who will want to go with Kamala and say, yeah, we'll support Kamala because she's the one we got and we'll go with her and that's fine. Just beat Trump. It ain't going to happen. Folks, it ain't going to happen. But I got another worry. And that between now and late January, 6 months, Joe Biden's still the president. And if his cognitive abilities aren't there, how can he run the country? Should he run the country? Should he step down? And there are calls today from Speaker Johnson all the way through the Republican Party and through other avenues of people saying Joe should step down as president. Kamala would take over without a doubt. And that scares the living hell out of many in the Democratic Party. And that's why they don't want Joe to step down. Give them a chance to find another candidate. So the Democrats, are they looking out for themselves or for the country? Joe Biden has not been able to function effectively. You see it. And yes, there's teleprompters. And yes, they can boost him with caffeine. And I don't know how much Red Bull is in that man's system. But when push comes to shove and the decisions have to be made, and there are some very, very difficult decisions that have to be made right now, it ain't happening. Who's making them? Jill? The State Department? Kamala Harris? You voted for the president to make those calls. And if he's not making it, then the person you voted for isn't doing it. So where's the democratic process? I called Joe Biden one of the Muppets because I don't believe that he is right now fully functional without somebody pulling the strings behind him. And I don't know who that was. It came out well later that Nancy Reagan and Caspar Weinberger and others helped Ronald Reagan to make decisions when his Alzheimer's were starting to happen. That was wrong too. That was really wrong. This is worse. We didn't know so much about Reagan. We had a hint, but we had no idea about Reagan. But here we do. Here we see it loud and clear. Joe must go. Joe should step down as president. But he won't. That's the problem. The reins of power is too attractive. It's lovely. It's wonderful. And do you think that the Democrats are going to let go? No. Let Joe run the presidency. It's fine. This way we can get our candidate. This way we don't have to, if we choose to go away from Kamala, no problem. But the question is, let's take a picture here, right? Let's say Joe Biden steps down as president today. What happens? Kamala wins. Kamala's got to be the nominee. There's almost no doubt about it. Does Joe wait till after the DNC to step down as president? Would they push him out if Kamala was the candidate? And if Kamala's not the candidate, do they leave Puppet Joe in place? Man, oh man, do you hear what's going on here? Nothing is for you, people. All this is for the Democrats to wield power, to continue to hold on to that power. Because in all likelihood, this move has a domino effect down into the Congress, into Senate. The impact of the election is enormous. If the election was tomorrow, God help us what this would be. It could be Republican sweeps and major majorities. We don't know. We still got a good 3.5 months to go. But think about what just happened, folks. democracy, the threat to democracy that Joe Biden keeps accusing Donald Trump of, what did they just do? What did the Democrats just do for the last year? Suspended democracy to accommodate them. And they should be punished for that. Honestly, I don't care how you vote. I don't care if you're a Republican, if you're a Democrat, if you're an independent. Why should the Democrats get away with messing with the democratic process? Because that's exactly, folks, what they have done. And you're going to pay the price for it come November. So what are you doing today? You have to sit and wait as the show goes on. And God knows what Wednesday's going to bring as a rant, because that's a wrap for today, folks. And again, my opinions, our opinions, and we thank you for listening to the Rant Network. We hope you enjoyed this and got some moments there, some valuable insights. We appreciate your support. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We broadcast every noon Eastern. We're on the rantnetwork.com. Check us out, therantnetwork.com. We're on social media. We're on YouTube. Check us out if you missed a past episode. Share, like us. We love when you do that. We're also on all the audio podcasts